It has been a very successful 2025 RTR.
We found a way of life that brings us joy, and instead of holding on to that and just going off blithely in our own way, each of you have made the decision to impact other human beings, and that is not a common thing. It's so easy to get a good place in life and then just to go on and be content, but to turn around and say, now I have a responsibility to anyone else that's in need, just like I was once in need. That's a glorious, admirable thing for which all of us are incredibly grateful to each and every one of you.
Those opening words were from a speech that Bob Wells gave at the Volunteer Appreciation event, and they really resonated with me because in my now more than 11 years of full-time van life, I've never done anything to give back to the community aside from whatever you may get from these videos. Prior to coming down here to Quartzsite this year, I had never attended any sort of a van or nomad gathering. I much prefer to live a solitary life and be able to roam around on my own timeline, which can often be quite spontaneous. But I chose the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous events not only as my first to attend, but also to volunteer and speak because I do really appreciate what they're trying to do with these events. What really drew me to this event is the amount of support for all types of vehicle dwellers, but especially those who are scraping by on a really low income. When I got into this lifestyle, it was out of necessity. I was in a really low place with my mental health and I was really, really broke. It really wasn't much of a choice for me. I was not able to continue to pay rent, and it really helped me to get on my feet to have the support of friends and family and members within my local community. I know as well as anyone that living in a vehicle isn't always a choice, and it can be really intimidating. There's a lot to learn, and it can also be really lonely and isolating. So for anyone, whether you're new or seeking community, this is a great event to attend. So the event includes presentations on many different topics related to life on the road, a massive free pile. There's sewing stations set up by volunteers, so if you have items that are maybe old or worn down and need repairs, there are people there donating their time and skills to help make those repairs for you. There's also cold weather gear, which is available for free to those who really need it and can't afford it on their own. And in many ways, the event helps to facilitate new friendships and people to boondock with if that's something you're into. I initially heard about the RTR events from viewers in the comments down below, and so one day I was feeling brave and I decided that I would not only attend, but that I would also volunteer and apply to be a speaker. I ended up speaking on 3 different panels as well as leading a breakout discussion on life with an aging pet on the road. So that was really nice to be able to share my experience on a variety of topics. I was drawn to volunteering and supporting this event because it is a free event that focuses on community and education and resources, as opposed to being some sort of just like party off in the desert, many of which do have tickets for entry. And so this just seemed like something that was really accessible to anyone who was able to make it here for the event. And so in this video, I'm going to be sharing my personal experience and opinions on the Rubber Tramp Rendezvous events. And at the end, I will let you know what I think about potentially returning in the future.
We're just going to be around a lot of people over the next 12 days. And then we'll go back to being alone in the woods, okay? We're not in the woods, in the desert. That's okay, bud.
Today was the first day of women's RTR, and it was so awesome. I had so much fun volunteering and serving coffee to volunteers and to attendees. Had a lot of fun with all the women who were volunteering and chatting, and I got to meet lots of you, which was really awesome. And then I went up on stage and I presented on a panel about boondocking, which was really cool. I was super nervous. I wasn't that nervous leading up to it. And then I was walking from my van to go to the stage, and I started to get so nervous. I felt like I was gonna faint, but it went fine. And I had a lot of people tell me I did a great job. So that feels good. I have 2 more panels I'm speaking on. So yeah, it was just really nice to be like part of the nomad community. And I really wanted to come and, you know, experience that. I didn't come to Quartzsite for the camping in Quartzsite, you know. I came to Quartzsite for RTR and the women's RTR events. And so, yeah, it was a great first day. I wanted to, you know, come and, you know, experience the nomad community and to contribute what I can from my years on the road and my experience and knowledge. It is really awesome being here, but I'm not built for this. So yeah, I'm gonna kick back. Tomorrow I'm not going to any events. Tomorrow is the 3rd and final day of women's RTR, and I'm staying in camp and I'm having some me time. I'm taking a day where I don't drive, which has been a while since I've done that because I had the 10 days driving here, and then I've been driving to and from town to speak and volunteer. And so yeah, tomorrow's a no driving day. All right, today is day 1 of the big RTR event. I was volunteering this morning doing media, flying the drone, and now I'm taking Frank to the event in the way that's going to be most comfortable for him, which is up and away from all the docks and close to me so I can protect him. I brought treats so people can give him treats because he doesn't want pets. And yeah, he seems quite comfortable in this around people, so we'll just see how it goes with such a big crowd.
I know how to use cameras. So, in the 14-day areas, I'm going to assume there's still camp hosts.
Hi. Frank did awesome. I carried him around for like an hour and a half in the backpack, and the entire time we just talked to people. We definitely had people come up that just wanted to take photos of Frank in the backpack, but for the most part we were talking to viewers. Some we had not met yet, and some that we had talked to before, and then we're just talking to again. So it was really nice. It was a nice afternoon. You might be able to see, like, I think I'm sunburned, my cheeks, but it was a great day. It's a lot. I'm an introvert. I'm exhausted. I have a headache. I took a lot of ibuprofen this morning because I was getting a headache. I'm going to take some more. But I'm really glad that I'm volunteering because it, like, gave me a purpose to be there and to be in the crowd. So it was really fun. I met so many people. Everyone was so nice. And at one point I went back to my van to check on Frank, and I had this beautiful stone that was placed for me. So thank you, Stone Maiden. Ruby and Donna, it's like message just for me. So it's so nice. I've had so many compliments lately that blue is a good color on me, that I look nice in blue. So yeah. I appreciate that. So yeah, it was a really nice day. Yeah, it was just really fun. Way busier than the women's RTR. So but you know, it's pretty much the same resources available. Today there was a meet and greet with Bob Wells, which I think, you know, it's like the opening day of RTR, meet and greet with Bob Wells. So it's quite busy, but there's just, you know, a lot of really great resources. I'm glad I chose RTR and women's RTR as my first ever nomad gathering event. But right now, I think I'm gonna just like have a little nap or like dissociate for an hour and just like not be here. And today is also the first day after posting my 10-day vlog series. And it's so weird to not be posting a video today. Like, I'm kind of sad about it too. Like, I miss it. It was so much fun to share a video every day. And then to get all your lovely comments every day was so nice. But yeah, I need to rest my brain and just turn it off, power down. And wait for the thoughts to come back. Hello, good day. I have been in the Quartzsite area for a little over a week now, and it's my first time getting out for a hike. And I'm here in the Kofa Wildlife Refuge, hiking up this little canyon. It's a short hike. I had found it on All Trails, and then I had a viewer tell me, absolutely have to come do this. It's a must-do hike. So I'm here today to enjoy a hike and just enjoy a little bit of a break from what has been a really, really busy and overwhelming, but also super and amazing, fulfilling time here in Quartzsite. I have stepped way out of my comfort zone to come here and to participate in RTR and to volunteer and speak at RTR and to meet so many people who have been all amazing. It has blown my mind how genuinely kind and respectful everyone has been. And yesterday I did something that I've always kind of wanted to do, but just felt like it was a really big step. You know, actually no, it didn't feel like a step. It felt like a massive leap out of my comfort zone, and that was to host a meetup / camp out. Okay, holy crap. I just sent out the emails with the coordinates and directions to where I am parked right now for my first big meetup. I have met up with patrons in the past, usually 1 or 2 at a time, but this is my first time organizing a meetup for just anyone, and it's a camp out. So we're really just on the side of the road. I wanted it to be super accessible for all vehicle types and also really easy to find, so they will see me if they come down here. And I've parked, so I have this just little less rocky spot for Frank. And so now I wait. Now I wait for people to show up. I've had probably 15 to 20 people RSVP, but people get busy, so I just sent the coordinates to everyone that I sent the original instructions and info about the meetup to. And if you're wondering why you missed out on this, if you're here, 1, I'm so sorry. 2, I mentioned when I announced I was coming to Quartzsite in that video to email me if you were interested in meeting up, and that if I organized something, then I would send you an email. So that's what I did. I got here, I got settled, I got in a groove. And then I chose a day to have a meetup camp out, and I sent everyone an email who had emailed me. So if you are interested in opportunities like these in the future, you definitely want to watch the videos where I make announcements and share life updates, because those are the types of videos where I would announce something like this. I also mentioned in a community post a couple days ago about this, and to send me an email if you wanted instructions. So I have done my due diligence to get the information out, and I'm a little bit nervous, but mostly really excited. A lot of these people I already met at RTR or Women's RTR, and now we're just gonna have a space for ourselves to just hang out for a while, and then hopefully maybe some of my viewers will make friends with each other. Oh, nice!
Good job. Good job, Mr. Frank. Ooh. Easy, easy.
Yeah, she's a puppy, Frank.
Yes, she is a total puppy.
He's like, okay, fine. Yeah.
You're remembering.
Oh, grumble Gertie.
That's okay. Hi, Frank.
There you go, buddy.
Your kisses? Got kisses?
Big lip.
It's okay.
Doing so well. Look at you. Hey, Frank.
Oh, see, I watch you all the time. Said every time you bark, Buddy goes, woo! He loves to watch TV.
Good boy. Yeah. It was pretty surreal to have so many people come out to my meetup and camp out, especially considering how low key I was about going about announcing it. And, in life, I'm really lucky to have many, many good friends, but none of my friends know each other. They're all individual friends. I've never been a part of a group of friends. And so I've also never really had much for birthday parties or attended parties or group social gatherings. So this meetup was actually the biggest group of people that has ever been assembled with me as the central figure. And to do it on the full moon just felt really special. I'm really glad that I decided to host this event, and I had a lot of fun making new friends, seeing them make friends with each other, and to do a campfire for everyone. And yeah, it was a big stepping point in my life, and I'm just really grateful to everyone who came out and shared time with me. So, thank you, and look forward to doing something similar in the future. It was really cool because, basically everyone was also a nomad. And so we all had that in common, and there was like a bunch of people showed up with their rigs, and we all just hung out and had a great time. Everyone just really meshed together really well. The vibe was amazing. We had such a nice time hanging out, and everybody was visiting with everybody, and it wasn't just like all eyes on Amanda. This morning I just kind of spent a bit more time talking to people as people were starting to take off. And yeah, it was a really, really fulfilling and also kind of surreal experience. And it kind of felt like one of those, like, I made it moments. Like, wow, like, I just set out on the road years ago with, like, no thought really of starting a YouTube channel. And then I ended up starting a YouTube channel, and now I'm down here, way out of my comfort zone, like, meeting all these people that enjoy my videos. And it's like, wow, like, this is success. Like, I have found success with this. It's a fulfilling career path, and I've managed to attract people to my channel that are kind-hearted and just genuine people, and that feels so good. And it makes me excited to plan other meetups or campouts in the future. But after a lot of peopling, not just at my meetup, but the entire past week, it feels really good to be here and to go for a walk. So one thing about being down here is it's been so nice not to have to deal with any condensation or moisture issues in the van, but the environment that makes van life easy has been making it really hard for me to stay hydrated. I feel like I've had an insatiable thirst and just an endless craving for Element, who is the sponsor of today's video. Element comes in a 16-ounce can of sparkling beverage, which is really awesome to pull out of the fridge and enjoy after a hike or on a hot day. But the drink mix packs have been super convenient to always have on hand, on the ready. I can take with me to mix on a hike, to add electrolytes to my water, or in the van, or just hand out to people I meet. I've been enjoying Element for about 2 years now, and it is by far the tastiest electrolyte drink mix I've ever tried. I've been drinking electrolytes for many years now, and not only is it the tastiest, but it feels the most effective. Element contains a science-backed blend of electrolytes and none of that other BS. You absolutely don't need an electrolyte drink mix. I really appreciate that it has a full flavor. It's not just like flavor tinted water, which makes it more desirable for me to drink more water. And by adding the electrolyte, it helps me to retain that water so my body can absorb it and make use of it. Electrolytes do play a vital role in so many different functions within the body, and I've noticed that being down here, I feel better if I drink more than I was drinking in winter back up in Canada. If you'd like to give Element a try, go to drinklmnt.com/TIDELINETOALPINE, and when you make any purchase, whether it's the drink mix or the sparkling beverage, you're going to get a sample pack included with purchase. And the sample pack has 8 of their tasty flavors, so you can see which one you'd like to try next or share with a friend. And the great thing about this link is that every time you shop through Element, if you shop through the link, you're going to get that sample pack with purchase. Whether you've shopped 1 time, 10 times, or 20 times, you're going to get a sample pack with every purchase if you use the link, and it does help support the channel. But if you haven't tried Element yet, they do have an amazing no hassle money back guarantee. So if you give it a try and you happen to not like it, which I doubt is going to be the case, they will refund you and you won't have to deal with sending the product back. With that said, thanks again to Element for sponsoring this video. I'm going to slam the rest of this and head back to the van. Okay, it was really nice to be outside and out of the sun, but it is not as warm as I make it look. So it is nice to be back in the sun. Oh yeah. The sun is taking a little bit of getting used to. It feels really intense. It feels a little bit better like out here because there's a lot more plants being a national wildlife refuge. But like where I've been camping and in Quartzsite, it feels so bright and so intense. So that's taken a little bit for me to get used to, but I'm adapting, and it's good to get some pigment coming back to my skin, you know, build up its natural sun protection. And yeah, I know that in no time I will be used to being outside again, being outside in such intense sun. And I know Frankie is just absolutely loving it. Speaking of Frank, he got his very own Pendleton, and I think he totally loves it. This was a gift for Frank from Michelle, who was at my meetup last night, and she's also known as Gong Gypsy, and she did 2 different performances at the RTR, so I was on the media volunteer crew, so I filmed one of them. It was definitely a highlight of my time so far. You know, I'm really glad I signed up to volunteer. It's helped me make coming out of my comfort zone and being at the event a little easier. And right now, because I don't need to do any editing tonight, I'm actually going to head back into Quartzsite, and I'm going to go find the volunteer camp, because there is an organized camp where all the volunteers can stay. And yeah, I'm a little nervous to like show up, and I don't know who's there and like what's going on, because I have not been able to go visit there yet. And there's going to be like a bunch of rigs, and just like pull in and like find a place for me to park and just see what happens. So I'm really just going with the flow and taking it as it comes. And so yeah, I'm going to go do that now, and just continue to keep just leaping out of my comfort zone. All right, I have made it to the volunteer camp. I wasn't sure when I pulled in, so I just asked somebody. and I was in the right place, and that person was the one making chili for us tonight. So I've come and I've parked just a little bit away from the center camp, and I found a spot with some decent dirt that just isn't quite as rocky as most of the other place. So I can let Frank out here. He has like a bit of space to walk and have a pee, or here is like really good for him. So that's something I'm really trying hard to find for him every time I choose a place to park, is to choose a spot where he can more comfortably walk around to pee and poop. I like to be by a tree if I can. And then what I've been doing is I've been parking so that if I'm sitting in my van in the morning, I can see sunrise. So that first morning light will touch me in the doorway or in bed. And then by the end of the day, when I've had enough sun, I am in the shade. So I'm excited to be here. I was gifted this balloon at my meetup yesterday. It says way to go. And at the end of the night, when the fire died down and I came inside, I had completely forgotten about it. And I saw it and it just felt so nice because it felt like a really big thing to have my first meetup and camp out. And so it was like I got to be congratulated for pulling it off. And I'm pretty sure it was a success from all the feedback I got from people that came up to me, where they were really grateful that I made the gallery, and it sounded like, you know, people had a really fun time. So you see over there, there's all those rigs and tiny people. That's where I'm about to go. I'm a little nervous. It's weird walking up to a crowd of people. I don't know who's there. I don't know if I'm going to know anyone or anyone's going to know me. And I'm just going to trust that everyone's going to be nice, and I'm going to go.
Yeah, right.
I have my final presentation today at RTR. I'm talking on a panel with 2 other people about like mental health, like emotional well-being on the road. So I've been working on that this morning, and that's not till this afternoon. So I'm going to go park real early at the ball field in the volunteer parking and just keep working on my presentation. When I did my presentation on women's safety on the road with Jan from Butterfly Tracks, she coached me on public speaking. And what she suggested was that the feeling of nervousness is also the feeling of excitement. And so in my mind, instead of saying, oh, I'm nervous, to say I'm excited. And that actually really helped. It also helps to not be the first person speaking, so I have time to sit on stage and like just like calm the excitement that comes from like all of a sudden being up in front of tons of people. So this morning is going to be all about preparing for that. I actually might go to the grocery store as well. And then I am very excited to give my presentation and to get that out of the way and then have that behind me. And then I just have 2 more busy days here. And then I'll take 2 days to just chill before leaving the Quartzsite area. So yeah. All right, well, hello. It has been an awesome day. I last talked to you this morning. I went into town. I went to 3 different grocery stores so I could find eggs for breakfast and got some tortillas and stuff. And then I went to RTR and I did my final presentation. It went really well. I got a lot of nice feedback on it, and it felt like it was really, really valuable to some of the people that were there. And so it feels really good to have that done and out of the way. I've done all my volunteer shifts. I have a bit more volunteer tasks to do. And I have all my speaking done. It's awesome. I have a few more things on my list to do here before I leave Quartzsite. I'm not going to just be running away. But I decided to come out to a different area I haven't camped before. So I came to Roadrunner because I've been hearing reports of people seeing Roadrunners here. Go figure, right? So it'd be nice to see a Roadrunner. But I drove way through it, drove quite a ways to the back end, and I found this beautiful tree. Look at this. So happy for this tree. And it's all sandy. It's all sand. So it's going to be awesome for Frank. As you can see, well, I don't know if you can see because it's such a wide lens, but there are so many of the, like, whatever the biggest RVs are, like the ones that are like basically buses. So you drive the thing, you don't tow it, and they're massive. So I guess it's just nice roads in here and stuff. So there are a ton of those. But I'm so happy for this tree. I'm so happy to be done my speaking engagements. It's such a huge weight off my shoulders. Or just like, yeah, I was pretty nervous before, but it went well. And I met, again, so many wonderful people. Ooh, I got an amazing gift. I'll show you after. It's so cool. I love it. But yeah, I'm going to get Frank out. And tomorrow I'm doing a van tour. So I'm pretty excited about that. I've never filmed my own van tour, and just this was an opportunity I couldn't pass up to have somebody else film my van tour. So I might share more on that later. And then tomorrow night at the volunteer camp is Burning Van. So I'll explain about that tomorrow. But yeah, let's get Frank out. Hi! Are you having a nice time? It's so nice. Such soft sand. Hey, bud. Are you being camera shy? Do you want a belly rub? Oh, yes. We can do that. You're such a good boy. Oh, so dirty. So dirty, but so cute. Look at that dusty dog. It's so nice to have this tree. This is the biggest tree I've been by since I left the forest up north. It's very nice. It's a really good one. I don't know what kind of tree it is. Maybe one of you can tell me. Look, here. This is what it looks like up close. I don't know what kind of tree this is. It's really pretty though. You might notice that something is a little different in here, and that is I took down my curtains. One of the great resources they have at RTR is they have volunteer sewing stations. So they have a bunch of volunteers who come with their sewing machines and they help people fix things, repair clothing and whatnot. And it was one of my things I really wanted to do as an attendee at RTR was to get my curtains hemmed at the bottom, because I built these curtains when I first, like a little bit after first building this van. And then when I put in the box for the heater, the curtains didn't need to be as long. So I just cut them across the bottom, and that was a couple years ago. So it was really good to go get the bottom hemmed. I have some loose threads to trim, but I had been so busy with volunteering and speaking. And then when I wasn't volunteering and speaking and I was at the event, I was meeting people. And by the time people stopped coming up to me, I was ready just to go to my van. And, you know, it really opens up my van to prying eyes to take the curtains down. So today I finally went to go ask about getting the curtains done, and I had missed it. They were not taking any more new items, and the last day of RTR, which is tomorrow, they were just going to wrap up the projects they had on hand. And a very sweet lady, Kathy, who was one of the volunteers, offered to do my curtains after she packed up the volunteer station tonight. And so that's what I did. I drove around, I met her at her van, and we hung out and we had a great time, lots of laughs. And she closed up the bottom of my curtain. So yeah, it just feels really good to have that done. And it's really a nice thing they have there at RTR, because a lot of the people that attend RTR are really scraping by, getting by on the minimum amount of money possible. And, you know, stuff breaks, and like, we live in vans. Most of us don't have sewing machines. You know, you rip some clothes or whatever, and it's nice to just be able to get them fixed and keep them alive. So that is such an awesome thing they have there at RTR, and I'm really grateful to Kathy for going the extra mile to get my curtains done for me. And it worked out really well, because like, I didn't have to like have them down for a while, just long enough to get them sewed up. And now I'm gonna put them back up, because I do really like my privacy, and they're really, really good at insulating. If you're not aware, well, I can't show you now, they're sewed up, but in between this was a duvet cover when I lived in a house, and then this is just like basically black sheet, and in between here there's 2 layers of oven mitt material, and it is an amazing insulator for things like this, and it can be laundered and washed, and yeah, it can be t-shirt temperature in here with the heater on, and on the other side there can be ice inside the windows. That's how good they are at insulating. So yeah, I'm excited to have them done and put them back up. All right, I got my curtains back up, and today I got a really nice gift from a viewer who came to meet me. It's this blanket, and this is apparently the image on it. So I'm pretty excited for that. Wild Frontier plush throw. And I know it's a type of blanket that Frank really likes. He's got 2 favorite types of blankets, and one is this, you know, like fleecy plush, and the other is the wool blankets. Oops. Frank's like very interested in it. Ooh. Yes. Aurora wolf blanket. Look at that. It's very soft. It's a nice size. Are you gonna take this blanket too, Frank? He's like, hi, new blanket, it's mine. So yeah, I don't know, I guess I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna spend tonight cleaning my van, because I am doing a van tour tomorrow. As you can see, I have a whole mess going on back there. But Frank needs to investigate the new blanket. Do you like this? Do you like it? We can share. Oh, it's so soft. Yeah, bud. Look, it's got wolves on it. Look at that. This is where you come from. These are your ancestors, Frank. You like it? Yeah. Okay. I should get you some treats, eh? Is it time for treats? All right, good day. I got up this morning and I went and had a shower in town. As I was driving into town, I realized it was my first shower since Bishop. So that feels amazing. And I cleaned my van, and I did a van tour with Cheap RV Living. So keep an eye out for that in 2 to 7 months. I have no idea when. That will be fully on the editors and the team behind the scenes. I don't know if you can see back there, but there's like a bunch of extra stuff. So I definitely just put that in the front seat for the tour. But it is the cleanest my van has been since before leaving Canada, so that feels really good. My van is clean, I'm clean, and now I'm just gonna hang out for the afternoon and work and rest my brain. I'm gonna rest my brain as well before burning van. I completely hit a wall. I just was asleep for like 2 hours. It's so hard to wake up. I made a bag salad, and as I was doing that, it's raining. It started raining. I saw like clouds coming in and stuff, and I thought, oh, it's gonna be a nice sunset. I didn't expect it to rain. All right, before I share the burning van tradition, it has now been several days since all of the RTR events and volunteer appreciation wrapped up. And when all is said and done, I am quite glad that I went to RTR and women's RTR and participated in all the ways that I did. It was a lot for me. It really pushed me out of my comfort zone, and I'm glad that I rose to the occasion and made the most of it. And now that it's done and I'm through to the other side, I am feeling quite proud of myself, and also really, really enjoying not driving and being alone in camp, which I will share in the next video. But in terms of if I would go to RTR again, I am undecided. If I ever return to the Quartzsite area, it will be for RTR, or actually more likely women's RTR. The events were like the same, but the energy was completely different. I definitely understand why there is a women's RTR. It was really nice. It was calm. Everyone was super respectful of each other. And the RTR, there was a few odd characters. One guy in particular, like, he didn't even know who I was, and he just shoved a camera in my face and started asking me a bunch of questions, which felt really, really rude. And so, yeah, you probably noticed, like, I didn't film within the event. It just felt wrong to me, and honestly, just way too awkward to walk around, like, with my camera vlogging. And, yeah, also, I was busy volunteering and speaking, and then every other moment that I was at the event walking around, I was meeting viewers and talking to people. And so I just really wanted to be present with that part of the experience and just not film within the event. Before the event, I totally thought I would film within the event. And then when it came down to it, I didn't. And yeah, I'm totally okay with that. So, this video is about my experience at RTR and the women's RTR. And so, like I said, if I ever come back to Quartzsite, it will be to go to those events. And if I go to those events again, I will volunteer again. I don't know if I would volunteer to do media, because that was a lot for my brain, walking around within the event and then trying to do a task. I did end up missing my second volunteer shift on the media crew because I had a migraine. I woke up early, I felt it come on, I took a whole bunch of medication and drove to the volunteer parking, hoping that I'd be able to beat it and be able to still go out and film as a volunteer for 4 hours. And then just ultimately I was not able to leave my van, and then I was just trapped in the parking lot. So I really appreciate that nobody came knocking on my van and just respected my boundaries around that. That felt really good. And so, yeah, it was quite the experience. It was a lot for my brain. I had a headache most days, and I just pushed through. And yeah, I am really glad that I went. And the best part of all of it was meeting you, the viewers, and having a meetup. And so, RTR and being in Quartzsite was a really convenient place to open myself up to meeting people, and it felt safe. And, I had a really good time. And it was also really neat to see all sorts of different nomads and hear different stories, and to just be reminded or made aware of how many people are out there doing this. By the time I left Quartzsite, there was probably like 10,000 rigs in the area. It was mind-blowing. Obviously, the RTR events and women's RTR events aren't that busy. There was just like several hundred people a day attending these events. But it was just really nice to get an idea of the bigger picture of this world that I have ended up being a part of. So with that said, I'm going to share the burning van tradition and then a cute clip of Frank to send you off on your way. So thank you so much for watching through this long video and listening to my experience and opinions on the RTR and Women's RTR event. I definitely recommend them for the reasons I stated at the beginning of the video. And if you have questions, leave them below and maybe I will do a video answering some questions about that and kind of filling in some of the gaps.
That's interesting to think about. How old is your
Just can't wait to get on the rail again. The life we love is in the desert with our friends. We can't wait to get on the rail again. In our van again. Going places that we've never been. Going places we may never go again. We can't wait to get on the rail again. Tramps again. Like a band of gypsies, we go down to Quartzsite. We'll see Bob again. We'll share our tales of campfires in the nighttime. Warm fire time. Oh, our pants are small. We have no spaces left upon the wall. But there are homes and we're as happy as can be. Our fans Burn that van again. It lights up the night sky, and we all will cheer. A simple pleasures seem to be the best ones with good friends. Burn that van again. Just gonna wait to burn up that van again. All right.